and welcome to the Football Today podcast. It is Tuesday, the 28th of May, talking all things A-League, Matildas, Arsenal, and everything else before we get to the Olympics. Even some Champions League are thrown in there. I'm your host, Alex Donnelly, joined as always, only one time this week, the Stats Guy.
Yeah, one time, one show, but we got plenty to cover in this one. That Arsenal top, not bad. I don't like Arsenal at all, but I really like that top.
Yeah,
so
there we go.
Yeah.
Before we get into it, please make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel and across all the socials as well, wherever you listen to this. So, of course, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and X. Give us a follow there. Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify. Give us a thumbs up. 5 stars? And leave a review. Even if you just say, I like the kits we're wearing because, it's just a comment. And
Why not?
All the comments help no matter what it is. Also, get across the socials, as I said. But definitely make sure you subscribe and hit that thumbs up button. Stats Guy, we've had a massive week of football here in Australia.
Global Football Week, yeah.
Awesome.
Loved it.
It's a bit, the last two games were the best part of Global Football Week, aka the Arsenal, aka the Arsenal coming out to Australia playing, and then the A-League Grand Final.
A-League Grand Final was awesome,
on Saturday.
Yep.
But we do start off with a and you're starting it off this week, Stats Guy.
All right, I'll read this one out. One of my favourite players, so that's why she's in there at the moment. Courtnee should move overseas and away from the A-League.
This is an absolute
Yeah.
She was one of the stars of the show in the World Cup this time last year. Obviously, the winning penalty against France
Impact
got her
player.
national acclaim and will be forever a cult hero because of that, no matter what she does.
Yep.
Stayed in the A-League for an extra season one. She was the highest paid player in the A-League, I believe, last year.
Yep.
And also she had to, finish her study. And she also wanted to help show that I can be good in a World Cup, but also stay in the A-League. Now that she's won they won the Premiership, they won the Grand Final, Sydney FC. She showed on Friday night that she was probably one of the most dangerous players on the pitch. Surely someone in Europe or America was like, hey, Courtney Vine, she's fast, she's dangerous, apart from when Katie McCabe tries to chop her legs off.
Oh, I can't stand Katie McCabe. That's another
Love
argument.
Katie McCabe on this show. We should sign her.
Yeah, I think we were discussing it with Olivia behind the cameras. She's got to be in the WSL. So I was thinking maybe I was saying West Ham, but then she's probably better than West Ham.
No,
Chelsea, Arsenal.
Go to the WSL, you're still good. The two teams or three teams she can't go to would be Manchester City, Chelsea, and Arsenal.
Too many wingers, you reckon?
Way too many wingers
Fair
in
enough.
those teams.
Yeah.
That's why Haley Razzo was squeezed out of Manchester City, for goodness sake.
Did you say United's a possibility, maybe?
Oh, I was like, maybe Manchester United, but that means I'd have to pay attention to Manchester United. I don't like doing that at the best of times.
No, but it'd be good to watch her. Yeah, I think she definitely has to be overseas and just to progress her career to that next level. But because she dominated the Women's A-League, you got 16 goal contributions, a couple in the finals as well. So she's awesome.
Maybe even somewhere like not Spain, maybe Germany. Maybe France.
Maybe France. Bit of Lyon, maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
PSG.
Lyon. Yeah, PSG.
Yeah.
There's another, I think it's like FC Paris is another team over there as well.
Yes, there is actually.
But then there's also, of course, got the American League as well you could go to.
Yeah.
So plenty of options. Hopefully she does get an overseas move and,
I wouldn't be surprised WSL. Just the way she plays as well, I think would work really well for some, not
her
some of the
pace
top
would work
teams.
in Spain though.
Yeah. It would work anywhere, but I'm saying I think WSL, definitely the best one. But definitely, for her moving overseas.
Great. Hit us up in the comments. It's just below, the like and subscribe button with what you think that Courtney Vine should go to, where she should end up, or what your dream move for her would be, because there's a lot of options. I don't know how the red hair would work with Manchester United, though.
Oh, you reckon too much red?
A lot of red going on there.
I don't mind it. I reckon it'll look right.
One of our hosts, Jim, would be yelling racism at me because he's a redhead too.
Too much red. Nah, I think it would work well.
Whereas if she went to like a Leicester City, the clash with the blue would work nicely.
Angry Ginge? He all he wears is the Arsenal. The Manchester United kit.
No one likes that tool bag.
I think he's very funny. I think he's good.
You would. Anyway, let's talk about something cooler than that. And that was the Arsenal women taking on the A-League All-Stars under the open roof of Marvel Stadium.
What the hell? How did you predict that the roof was going to be open? That hasn't been open in, I reckon, about 4 years. And you're like, I think it's going to be open. It was cold in there.
Nailed it. Also, the Seagulls dive bombing everyone was great.
Are you still saying the roof should be open? Because there was too many seagulls.
I've never been pro-roof open. That's just been Jim on our
Jim.
AFL show. Check out the AFL Today show if you haven't listened to that as well. A lot of yelling about the roof.
Yes.
But this was great. This was fantastic. What was it? 42,000 people turned up. Probably 10,000 left after Newcastle got whipped. We'll talk about that later. But the support for all players, everyone was just there having a great time.
Awesome.
The vibes were high.
Good active area. Every time we went out for a corner, that part of the stadium would just go absolutely bonkers. And it was awesome.
I was sitting behind the Arsenal active zone, so I was a couple of levels above. But just they did not stop yelling and screaming all night. The songs were great. My girlfriend learned a few of the songs, so she was singing, having a great time. Awesome. I got to sing North London Forever. Yeah. I was just like, I could die now.
Yeah, you're happy. Great. Yeah, you said you're not usually a singer at the games, but you're like, you'll sing that song.
I sing 2 songs, Stats Guy.
The Sydney Swan song.
Sydney Swan cheer song and North London Forever.
I think that's good for everyone, yeah.
It's been a great year for me, though.
Yeah, you've been singing
Thursday night and Friday night at Marvel Stadium for me was fantastic. But,
perfect.
Getting to the game,
it
was another case of Jonas Ardeval team not being able to break down a low block or look at all dangerous at some points, but there was also a lack of clinical finishing, you would say, from Arsenal.
Well, we've talked about them in the past, and then a few of the international teams where they try to pass it around too much. You can have a shot. Like, there's a couple of players in Arsenal, they should have probably won this maybe 3-0, 3-1 at least, because they just could have had a few clean looks, few long shots, especially when the defenders are sitting back. Yeah. Russo obviously scored a really awesome header, so great to see her in person. Leah was the perfect assist to her as well. Mm-hmm. But yeah, other than that, they weren't taking the long shots and the options when you have to, if you want to win like 3-0 and stuff. But it was a friendly, so they won 1-0 anyway.
Yeah, it was good to see. One, it was good that Arsenal got their job done. It would have been slightly embarrassing that they did get beaten, but they did have a very young team, as we saw. They didn't bring all their players out. A multitude of substitutions as well. Cooney-Cross being overly dramatic when she got a calf cramp was quite worrying for about 5 seconds.
Did you see when the camera zoomed in on her and she's just like, noticed the camera just smiling and it's just zooming in on her face? That's hilarious.
So Kaitlyn Ford didn't know she was getting subbed. That was pretty funny. She
was mad when she got subbed.
As you would be. Kaitlyn Ford
it's a friendly, calm down.
You want to win. But she looked dangerous all night. Katie Reid for Arsenal in defence. I think just scrolling through Arsenal social media and then was like, oh my God, Katie Reid at centre half. This is great. Oh my God, this is fantastic. For me, Emily Fox was probably the best player on the night. She only played the second half,
didn't she?
I said it before the game, and then I was texting a friend of ours during the game going, I have a new favourite Arsenal player, non-Australian division, and it could be Emily Fox. Sorry, Leah Williamson. Until you signed that new contract extension last night, I was like, you might be out here, but Emily Fox was great. But for the A-League All-Stars, there was bits and pieces of play that looked good. Michelle Heyman was pocketed all night by Katie Reid.
It was tough. Her role is better when she's in an attacking team that she can just finish. Whereas when she's playing one-on-one, it's very tough. Yeah,
she did next to nothing in the game there. I mean, Tamika Yallop was okay.
Vine was awesome on the wing.
Vine was fantastic. Chidiac did a fair bit. Yeah. In the first half.
I swear they were targeting Chidiac a few times. Every time she got the ball, probably Katie McCabe with classic. She was just trying to take the legs out a few times. But right. I think they were really good.
She looked lively.
Wilkinson, when she came on, almost scored late for the so I was going for the All-Stars. I was like, stuff Arsenal. And I was really hoping that Wilkinson shot went in. She's the New Zealand striker, absolute star. So that would have been cool if she scored.
Ibeni looked good as well. And then we had the lovely moment at the end of the first half with Lydia Williams.
Yes, that was great. Yeah. For her last, one of her last matches.
In front of a big crowd. And it's also, so my partner who knew she was retiring, she started welling up going, that is so nice. Because of everyone saying goodbye and she got the nice farewell. A lot of Arsenal fans weren't happy that Steph Catley got subbed at halftime. She's from Melbourne.
Yeah.
Sub her off 2 minutes into the second half, Jonas.
Yeah.
Also, how funny was it that he got booed every time the camera went on?
Well, I didn't know much about that, and then you sort of filled me in that a lot of the fans don't like him anymore.
My Jonas out campaign may continue there.
I was like, ooh, they're booing the manager. But you said you were booing him just for his fit, apparently.
I'm not going to boo someone because technically I don't. From what I can gather, he hasn't done anything dramatically wrong.
Yeah.
I just don't like him as a coach.
Oh, yeah, fair enough.
And then I just didn't like the kit he was wearing. He had the brown vest on with the black shirt and blue pants. Choose a colorway, Jonas. Honestly.
Red if you're Arsenal anyway. Yeah. What are you doing?
Just all black like Mikel does. It's all good. So, what else do we take out of this game? Just good to see a game like this down in Australia.
Yeah, well, there was a bit of a worry when a couple of the Matildas players sort of went down injured or a little bit hurt, but I think they were fine.
Cooney-Cross just cramped up.
It was very precautionary, and that's why I didn't mind Steph Catley and players getting taken off a little bit. I know as a fan we want to see them the whole 90 minutes, but the Olympics is a lot more important than this game. Yeah.
She's on for that 30 seconds. We boot the ball out, and then it's like, Steph Catley's getting subbed. Steph Catley, she's from here. Woo, woo, woo.
There was a bit of less cheer for that one. Yeah.
Did we also enjoy peak A-League of the balls being flat?
Yeah. What about 3 ball? Why was that? I forgot about that. There was 3. That would never happen. I've never been to a game where the balls were flat. That was a real A-League moment, wasn't it? Yeah. No good. But Arsenal too good. 1-0.
Good night. Yep. Good night had by all. Everyone had a good time. And just quickly, we will touch on Newcastle 0, A-League All-Stars 8.
The A-League All-Stars scored 8 goals. there's not 8 goals sometimes in an A-League weekend. Like,
This
that is unbelievable.
was pathetic. Eddie Howe just put out his third string team and it showed. And it was also throwing them to the wolves. It's not like you didn't have a kid. Like, if you had like someone like Joel Linton in midfield and maybe even like
a couple of
your
experienced
mate
players,
Almiron somewhere there as well. Like just a couple of experienced players to help. But it's just like,
they played all their young guys. They played the experienced keeper that's been there for a long time. He's only played a couple of games, but that's really it. They had Grant Qual, he looked lost. But it wasn't even them playing that bad. It's just they would have never played together, this team. And then the A-League All-Stars were like, we got a chance here to just embarrass the Newcastle fans. I would have been so mad, like as a Chelsea fan, if I'm going to a friendly.
You've touched on my next point.
Even if it was 1-1 or something like that, but like, at least it was a fun contest. Losing 8-0, that's horrible.
Imagine if you're a Newcastle fan and you've travelled from like Canberra or Sydney for the 2 games and you've seen the crap that was dished out Wednesday night and then that.
At least Wednesday night was a draw and it got to penalties.
Yeah,
but they played really bad on Wednesday.
It was a joke.
Yeah.
Like, honestly, I'd be somewhat filthy.
Yeah, I would. Yeah, that was so mad, and the atmosphere was created by the Newcastle fans as well because they're all travelling, trying to see their Premier League team, and then they lose 8-0 and the atmosphere goes away. So yeah, it wasn't good.
No, wasn't a good look at all. Also, maybe don't play friendlies 3 days after the EPL season ends before the Copa America, the Olympics, and the Euros. Just saying.
They can't stop. They can't stop with that stuff.
Anyway, let's get to the A-League Grand Final stats, guy. You were all over this. The Central Coast Mariners win 3-1 against the Melbourne Victory. But that doesn't tell the story of this game.
No, extra time. I said this was going to go to extra time. As a Victory fan, I was hoping that Victory would win in extra time. But the Mariners at home were just dominant as it got to extra time. So you got
sick atmos.
Amazing atmos. You got the sellout crowd. There's been sellout crowds in the finals pretty much every week in the A-League, which is awesome. Victory were dominant early. You got Jason Guerrier rocket. I think it's only his 2nd or 3rd goal for the whole season.
What a time to score.
And he scores it for Victory, and you're thinking 50th minute, Victory all over him. Vukovic in his last game, which he said afterwards that he's retiring after.
Remember when he slapped the ref's arm like 15 years ago?
I don't remember. Did he hit the ref? I don't remember.
Yeah, he got like 6 months. I swear that was him.
Goalkeepers are crazy, so I wouldn't be surprised if he did something like that. But he was amazing. He kept Mariners in the game. That's why Victory didn't get up 2 or 3-0. Just some amazing saves. Then you got Edmondson. He comes off the bench. The Mariners staff are going, all right, you got to make an impact here. He comes off the bench to make it 1-1. Gets it to extra time.
Yeah.
Their crowd is going absolutely nuts. So then you got DePizio, their youngest ever goal scorer, also scores to get them up. And then Edmonton finishes up 3-1. So they just dominated in extra time. And Victory, they decided to park the bus after they were 1-0 up.
Yeah.
Don't do that in the grand final. You've got to try and get at least 2-0 up, and they probably would have won. So, yeah, awesome effort by Central Coast Mariners. And they've had one of the best A-League seasons of all time.
The best 12 months, considering going back to last year as well when they won the grand final.
Won the grand final, so 2 in a row. Then they've got the Asia Cup, the Premier's Plate, and the A-League title. So they're saying a treble. But I don't know if a Premier's Plate finishing on top is a
need
trophy.
to win the FFA Cup.
Yeah, but they technically got 3 trophies this season, which is the best
ever
FFA
A-League
season.
Cup, I'd say it's a treble.
Yeah, so awesome effort by Central Coast Mariners. You got Nisbet, who also got the Johnny Warren medal, which is the best player in the league. So Nisbet, I remember I've reading all these articles about him. He was told he was too small, there's this and that, and he was never picked up, and now he's dominated in the A-League. I wouldn't be surprised if he goes overseas soon as well. He's pretty young. Yeah.
Side note, Dani Vukovic in 2008, so it was close, 16 years ago, got a 15-month suspension for smacking the arm of a referee in the grand final against Newcastle. I remember he hit the arm when a penalty thing was waved off, and then he ran off. It got downgraded to 9 months with 3 of it suspended. So he got 6 months in the end for smacking a referee on the arm.
You have to be crazy to be a goalkeeper, but that's a bit. You can't be doing that.
It was wild.
That shows how long his career has been going for, because I'm pretty sure he was around for ages then. Yeah, so he's been going for like 20-something years, his career. So
what a man.
Awesome career. Did he play for them Socceroos?
He played a couple of games.
a couple of games. Awesome career by Vukovic in the A-League,
Yeah, shout out to Dani Vukovic. What a man.
What a crazy man.
All right, we'll take a short break. We'll be back after this where we'll bring in Social Girl Spence for the trivia question, and then we'll talk about all things Tillies because it's Tillies week here in Australia. We'll be back after this. All right, welcome back to the Football Today show for the second half of it. Before we get into it, make sure you like and subscribe on YouTube. Hit that thumbs up button, subscribe so all the videos can come across your feed when they do come out. All right, let's get to Social Girl Spence because Leo is somewhere on Kentucky in Europe. He's possibly dead after Hawthorn won in the AFL
He's
last
alive.
weekend.
I did hear from him, but yeah, he'll be living it up.
Yeah, he's somewhat alive for all we know because as we know, on Kentucky, you are only half alive the whole time. Let's get to Social Girl Spence for a trivia question.
All right. How many clubs has Emily Van Egmond played for?
Oh, God damn it.
I couldn't think of this. I reckon she played 2 or 3.
We're going to get it nearest to the pin here, right?
3,
Correct.
4, 5.
7.
5 or 6, I think. I'm going to go 5.
You're way off. It's 14.
Oh, wait, whoa.
Well, because you think about it.
I
there's
can
been-
get the stats up.
That
if
is
you like.
amazing. Let's have that.
Well, Central Coast Mariners. Then
We're
there
gonna get
would have been
roasted for that.
a couple of American ones. There would have been,
This is according to Wikipedia, so
No, you're probably
go
right.
from that.
This is what? All right, read them out.
Newcastle, Canberra. Can't pronounce one of them.
Yep.
Back to Newcastle, Western New York Flash, Seattle Rain, Wanderers, Red Stars, back to Newcastle.
Oh my god.
Not including double ups in that answer.
I was about to say she's been at Newcastle 7 times on her
and then
own.
that goes through all the way to West Ham, Orlando Pride. You can get there's quite a few.
Oh my god. I was counting.
Alex wins.
I literally counted 2 of the English ones, 2 of the American ones, and then 2 of the
I was
Australian
like,
ones. I'm like, that's about 6.
I was like 2 A-League,
Yeah, we
3
stuffed that up.
America,
Not sure
and
she
2
played
England.
for many of them for quite long, but
No, but yeah,
She's-
that's a great little stat to remember. 14 clubs.
Journey. The
Awesome.
Emily Van Egmond journey.
Great question.
Wow.
I like it. Nice.
All right, she is a part of the squad that has been announced for Matildas taking on China. Adelaide Oval Friday night, Stadium Australia Monday night. We're assuming on Monday night at Stadium Australia that Lydia Williams will get her farewell in front of yet another sold-out
She's from
stadium.
Sydney, is she? Yeah.
Yeah, I think we're
Oh,
at
go, 'cause it's the last game, yeah.
a core Stadium Australia, right?
Probably.
I hope a core.
I have been to a core and I can't
A
remember.
core
if
is
it's called-
Stadium Australia. It's changed names.
It is, yeah.
It was Telstra Stadium, the Olympic Stadium,
Yeah.
whatever. It's just, again, stop changing stadium names. Just stay with the one sponsor like the Emirates. It just works. But yeah, so we think that Lydia Williams will get the farewell at Stadium Australia on Monday night.
Yep.
Because both games are sellouts, which makes it like 19 consecutive home sellouts in Australia. So that's wild for the Matildas.
Awesome.
So we take on China, who we haven't played since 2020, where we had the one all draw last time, but we've beaten them very convincingly in the past, and
Yep.
we've won 6 of the last 8. What are we, as thinking ahead to the Olympics, what is the main objective other than avoiding injuries for our main players in these 2 games? Is it to find out who the next 5, those 5 players that we talked about that probably need to guarantee themselves a spot on the plane? Because we think
I think so, yeah.
we think there's 12 to 13 that are just you're going.
Yeah.
But there's those couple that need to get minutes to say, hey, we're going to be a chance instead of just doing well in training. So is someone like Grant, Courtney Vine,
Well, Vine's
Wheeler,
locked in, but yeah.
Jada Wyman getting in ahead of Tegan
Yeah.
Micah. Like, Charlie Grant's my big one.
Yeah.
Tony, for the love of God, please give her minutes.
Yeah.
Whoever's the manager at Tottenham, also the same. Please give her minutes.
Yeah, I feel like she's underrated. You've been talking about this for ages.
She's
We
great.
both have. She's great. I think their main players, like the main attackers, I think they'll start. But in the midfield, in the defense, they might change it up a little
Surely
bit. 'cause you got-
Charlie Grant starts at the Adelaide Oval.
Yeah, in the midfield, surely.
Was
Yeah.
she from Adelaide?
Yeah, actually, is she? Oh, there you go. Well, I think she should start, especially the form. Even when she came on for Tottenham in a couple of games, it was a couple of those cup games. She was awesome. Vine, I think, is pretty much a lock for the team. Wheeler as well has been great, but it's just so much depth in this team. Wyman was the other one I chucked in there just because she's been awesome in the
Sydney
A-League
FC.
Women's. And I think she's like the next.
Well,
Big thing, next Mackenzie
Tegan
Arnold,
Micah's number 2 at the moment,
Yeah.
but Wyman's doing everything to jump her.
Which is weird.
Good problem to have for Australia.
About Wyman, she wears 99.
I love it.
I was like, that is the weirdest number ever
Respect.
for a keeper. They usually don't wear anything
Be
but
different.
1, but yeah.
Keepers are different people.
They are.
But then you look at it. So, like, personally, I wouldn't play Steph Catley or Kaitlyn Ford, other than I'd give him 20 minutes in both games just to get some run around. But it's like,
I think I might play first half. Yeah.
Kaitlyn Ford and Catley have had very long seasons at Arsenal, as well as the multiple travels here and back to Australia.
Yep.
Hayley Razzo desperately needs some minutes, so good to give her some minutes. Mary Fowler in the back half of the season got more minutes for Manchester City. But it's like, Caitlin Torpey, give her a bit of time. So it's like, you've got to mix and match, because also, when we think about it, Tony Gustafsson hates making subs because he doesn't know who he can trust. Reason why I can't trust him is because he doesn't play him.
He's playing, yeah.
Give him minutes, Tony. It's
think-
not that hard. You got 180 minutes to work it out before we get on the plane and go to the Olympics. Give them some game time. Sorry for hitting the table there, homie.
Yeah, no,
Apologies.
I think he will. So I reckon first half, because it's a sellout, similar to how they've done a lot of the other friendlies, they'll start the main team.
Like, you get a billion
get a few
subs.
goals, and then just I think they could.
The
surely they
result
should make like 6
doesn't
subs.
matter.
Exactly.
It's all about making sure that the formation and style that Tony wants to play at the Olympics is like, hey, if Hayley Razzo goes down, I know I'm going to plug in Courtney Vine. Hey, if something goes wrong and I don't have Cooney-Cross or Katrina Gorry, who am I going to plug in there to central midfield? If Ellie Carpenter or Alana Kennedy goes down, is it going to be Torpey and Grant? Is the Polk going to be there? Like, these are the things It's going to be a struggle to get this down to 17, or is it it's 18,
18,
sorry.
18, yep.
And there's every chance he takes 3 keepers, so that only leaves 14 14 outfield players.
He does like picking 3 keepers, so I think is going to be Arnold, Micah, Wyman.
Yeah, Lydia
Probably
Williams
because
is not on the plane.
Williams won't be on the plane.
Yeah.
Whereas lots of other teams like to take 2 keepers.
I'd only take 2.
I don't understand why you need 3. But
I'd take Mackenzie Arnold and Tegan Micah at this stage.
But unless they just take Wyman for like experience and things like that.
But that's a waste of time when you've only got an 18-player squad.
No, I agree. Yeah, but I just wouldn't be surprised. He always picks the 3 keepers, so that takes out another spot in the midfield.
But when you've got 21 players, I get it. When you've only got 18, you've got to take 2 keepers because that leaves 16 players in the outfield. Because odds say you're not going to have 2 catastrophic goalkeeper injuries throughout a tournament.
Yeah, no, I agree.
So then it's like, okay, so you've got those 2. Then you've got Kaitlyn, Carpenter, Kennedy, Hunt, Torpey, guarantee. So that's 7. Cooney-Cross, Katrina Gorry, you'd say Emily Van Egmond goes, Heyman, Ford, Fowler, Vine, Razzo. There's
how many
15.
you got there? 15.
That's 15.
Oh,
so that's no Grant, no Polk, no Nevin.
I think Paul might miss.
And I've left out Claire Wheeler, Claire Wheeler's got to go as well.
Well, she's great, yeah, but she hasn't had that many minutes for the
There,
Matildas
I've got it down. I've got 2 players left, and I'm personally taking Charlie Grant and Courtney Nevin.
Ooh.
So
Wait, did you say Vine?
Yeah, I said Vine.
Oh, yeah, you said Vine.
Yeah, so all the forwards are going to go.
All the forwards going to go.
Yeah. So then it's like out of the midfielders.
Van Egmond will get picked.
Yeah, you take Cooney-Cross, Claire Wheeler, Emily Van Egmond from midfielders, plus Katrina Gorry, Arnold and Tegan Micah, Kaitlyn, Carpenter, Kennedy, Hunt, Torpey, Grant, Nevin. And then if I've got a spot left, if someone's counting along, please let me know. That's when the Polk goes, and unfortunately Freya and Heatley miss out, along with Tamika Yallop from this.
Okay. That's good. It makes it really tough, but yeah.
Man, it sucks.
It'll be exciting to watch just how they go about it in these 2 games against China. How do we reckon the results are going to go?
I don't care.
You don't care?
I honestly don't care. As long as
I think we'll win still pretty comfortably.
But the results aren't important as making sure that our structures and squad is in place for the Olympics, because we're a red hot chance of winning a gold medal.
Absolutely.
And we need to take the best possible team. Gareth Southgate finally did it at England. He cut Marcus Rashford loose. He cut Jordan Henderson loose.
Finally.
Don't go, I'm picking these players because I've always picked them. Pick the best squad for now.
Yep.
That's why I personally wouldn't take Emily Van Egmond, but that's also why she probably goes, because of the tactical versatility that she offers.
Versatility of being able to play in
multiple
so many positions. So other than goalkeeper, so why not pick her?
Hit us up in the comments of who you think is that unlucky player to miss out, because there's going to be one player that's super, super unlucky to miss out on this team.
Yeah.
I think, I'm probably leaning towards it being Claire Polkinghorne.
Possibly, yeah, a bit older.
God, that's just
absolute
rough.
legend of the Matildas, but you're probably right, I think, because she'll be on that borderline, especially look how many defenders we've got compared to other positions in this squad.
But also, like, Torpey and Grant can invert in play into midfield as well.
I think Torpey will play almost the whole 2 games against China and just, like, dominate. I think she's going to dominate against these 2 games in China. Might even get a goal or 2.
Love me some Kaitlyn Torpey. She rules.
Yeah.
All right, Champions League final is also this weekend. Stats guy, Borussia Dortmund take on Real Madrid at Wembley. We're going to Wembley.
That's crazy.
It's been upsets in all these finals.
It has.
Manchester United have won the FA Cup. Atalanta smoked Bayer Leverkusen in the Europa League. There was another final that was an upset of recently as well. And then Leverkusen won the German Super Cup or whatever it was final. So the depth that Real Madrid have is insane. Old mate from Stoke, Joselu.
Joselu has just been done. He scored 2 against Bayern last game. Then he scored in the La Liga as well. He never scored any goals in his whole career, and he's come to Real Madrid and gone, I'm good. Like, I don't know where he's come from. A lot of people behind the scenes have said,
in Spain.
Yeah, a lot of people behind the scenes have said he's always had the talent, and then Real Madrid are just showing him off now. It's awesome.
Yeah, and they've agreed to make his $2.5 million dollar loan permanent now, so that's signing on.
That's exciting.
Jude Bellingham seems to be the key to the game here, but it's going to be very funny watching Jude Bellingham and Jadon Sancho go head to head.
Yeah,
like
2 buddies.
He just left Dortmund. Remember?
Dortmund, yeah.
So this is going to be interesting.
They're still mates, I think. But
yeah, they're both Poms.
They might have a bit of beef with him coming against Borussia Dortmund, possibly. Who knows?
Hope the yellow wall just makes it to Wembley. That's going to be sick.
Oh, actually, that'd be cool. Because Wembley, they usually split it in half.
Yeah.
That'd be good with the big yellow side and the white side as well.
Yeah.
That'd be great.
And Real Madrid, they're just like, another Champions League final. We're here.
Yeah.
What a
14 titles they've won in the, whatever you used to call it, the European Cup, and then now it's the Champions League. They do this
perennial
for fun.
winners.
They do this for one.
Yeah. Don Ancelotti just like, another one. That's fine. How do we see this game playing out? This is also Marco Reus's last game for Dortmund too.
I think it's going to be really defensive. Always Champions League finals are so hostile. I remember watching one a couple of years ago when the fans couldn't even get in. There was an absolute shambles, and then the game was hostile itself. And then Dortmund have been really strong the last couple of weeks with their defense. So
they're finishing the season the right way.
Yeah.
With all their form.
So I think if Real Madrid win this, it's probably going to be like a 1-0 or a 2-0 or something because Dortmund just don't have as many attackers that can score.
Yeah.
And I've also got money on Real Madrid from the start, so maybe that's why I want Real Madrid to win.
Yeah. Stats guy just always talking through his pocket. Biased guy.
No, I actually think they're the better team, and that's why they're favourites as well.
I think they'll win 2-1 in this game. I reckon, it'll be sort of 1-1 late, and then there's a late winner in 80th minute, 82nd minute.
Who's going to score?
Bellingham and Tony Kroos.
In his last game.
Yep.
That would be awesome. That's like scripted.
I'm a romantic at heart, stats
if
guy.
If he scores, that is the most scripted game going around if Tony Kroos scores. I'm gonna say Joselu off the bench. Why not? He's 34. I just realised, and he's got a new contract.
Old man Joselu.
He's finding his prime at 34.
Yeah.
How good's that?
We'll talk about last weekend as well. Manchester United 2, Manchester City 1 in the FA Cup.
FA Cup, yeah, final.
Why couldn't Manchester City do this in the last 6 weeks in the EPL?
The rumours as well, because of that win, that Ten Hag's keeping his job, which is another podcast that we don't need to get into at the moment. I shouldn't have brought that up.
I am pro this. Jim Ratcliffe, keep Ten Hag in his job. Because, as we all remember, Garnacho was onside at the Emirates.
Yes. That's another whole podcast, I think.
What, Ten Hag keeping his job, or just the managerial roundabout that we have at the moment.
Just if you're bald, you get a job at a very big club.
Well, yes, we have the greatest of all bald offs coming at the moment because Chelsea's new manager, who's currently Leicester's manager, he's apparently going to sign for Chelsea.
Yep.
I can't pronounce his name. He's bald. It's going to be great.
There's half the managers are going to be bald.
Yeah. So you got Ancelot, bald.
Yep.
Ten Hag, bald. Pep, bald.
Sean Dyche,
bald. Who's the best manager out of the lot? Shawnee Dyche.
No, not Sean Dyche.
Hey.
He's a good man, but I don't know about that.
Actually, what about Vincent Kompany getting the job at Bayern Munich?
Oh, yeah, he's bald, but he's gone now. Yeah.
Oh, man, that's another baldy.
I think
Vincent Kompany getting the job at Bayern Munich after getting relegated with Burnley. Is that not the most ridiculous thing you've ever heard of?
World football is just very weird at the moment with managers.
And apparently Thomas Tuchel is like, I'll leave Bayern because apparently he has the Manchester United job in his back pocket, but old mate Ten Hag might keep his job
because so I don't know. It's very weird at the moment.
Louis van Gaal won the FA Cup and still got fired by United. So personally, if I'm I'm the Ratcliffes, I'm firing Ten Hag into the sun and saying, "Come on, Thomas, come across."
Ooh.
And Chelsea are about to have their 6th manager, and I think I read the record of since whatever it was, like in the last decade or something, maybe a bit longer. Chelsea would have had more managers than Pope since 1675.
Really?
Yeah. So I think it might have been since the year 2000.
That is the weirdest.
Chelsea have had more managers than there have been popes since 1675.
I did not think you were going to say that, but that is very interesting.
This is why
that angers me, but it's also pretty funny.
It's also hilarious. There's been more, yeah.
Oh, that is nuts.
What was the king that cut off his wife's heads? How many wives?
Henry VIII?
Yeah, how many wives did he have? Is it about the same level as managers?
He cut off 2 of his wives' heads. We're just cutting off our managers' heads and then just going, you can. I don't know how Henry VIII and the Pope has got it on in this show, but there you go.
We take a roundabout way here on the Football Today show. With that being said, we may as well finish up here because we are getting into the rambling stage. We'll be back next week to wrap up what has gone on in the 2 Matildas games. We'll also start looking ahead towards the Euros because that kicks off in 16, 17 days' time. So that's pretty cool that that's coming up. We will be doing a preview of that, having a look through all the groups and the teams at some stage. So we'll probably do that in the next 2 weeks. But before we leave, please make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel. Give us a thumbs up. Give us a like. Leave us a review across there. Hit us up in the comments. But get across the socials, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and X. Football Today AU, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts. Give us a 5-star rating. Also, hit that subscribe button there because it's really important too. So, Stats Guy, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, we are done and dusted here on the Football Today show. Shout out to Spence and Homie. We'll be back next week for Football Today.